So this is a commentary based on a very quick edit that I did, being that I'm bad at doing lives, always have been. I put together a very quick edit concerning a situation that happened a little while ago, which was something that went down recently in the conscious community, one of the many low life sectors of Black YouTube. And what happened with that was Sonetta shared some information in which to expose some perverted, deviant behavior of a brother named Solarmind, who was a debate platform competitor of his, basically. And it was a video clip of Solarmind getting caught on a train by a teenage girl, and he was basically playing with himself in front of her. And the reason why I felt I had to comment on this particular situation is just the level of hypocrisy. I'm like, this guy and his wife, quote unquote, Nepal, who's first Solarmind's ex, and also his sidekick, Stooge Judah Nazareth, out here trying to rally the people to their cause to fight pedoism, sexual deviancy, and abuse of minors, while when this guy was just had these same kind of deviants on their platform themselves in the past. It's crazy. So, and what happened years ago, his star debater and influencer was a brother named Polite, and Polite was on there scamming the people, but he fell out with Polite. And when he did that, when that happened, he then put out accusations live that Polite was molesting his stepdaughter. And he called him baby Dr. York, referencing Polite's teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, who is in prison currently for child molestation and abuse. But people that sought to hold Sonetta accountable for letting Polite back on the platform while knowing he was a chomo, Sonetta has been attacking and slandering and accusing these people ever since. So Polite eventually was convicted and imprisoned himself for molesting a later stepdaughter. So my edit is based on these three who were recently calling for Solar's arrest. And in my edit, I showed you that you can actually see Sonetta and Judah actually defending Solar and his previous charges against Nepal just a year ago. And like I say, so I just find it amazing how far these clowns will go to lie to cover their tracks. Because if this was truly about protecting victims from predators, why not just go to the authorities? Why go live? There is a difference between actually seeking to bring a criminal to justice and seeking an audience to destroy someone's reputation. And if you really listen to can hear their real agendas come out, like when you heard Nepal speak on it, you could hear her speak more about why his girl chose Solar more than she actually speaks about the victim. When you hear Judah speak about it, you hear him speak more about why Solar's girl chose him instead of somebody like himself, more so than he spoke about the actual victim. And with Sonetta, you hear him speaking more about the hypocrisy of Solar's debaters, hoping he can get them back to his platform, which is actually his true motive. Because that's what all this is really about, platform wars. But during my edit, you hear a person trying to defend another person from Sonetta's attacks. And that person that he's trying to defend is a person that also thinks they're going to escape all the lies they told and all the things they covered up, all the people they slandered for the sake of clout. So let's deal with this individual here. Now, I've already told you that this guy is a fake. He's been going around campaigning that he's been the upstanding one through all of this.
So man, let me say this to y'all audience real quick, because I see a lot of people in there that's familiar with my platform, also that come over to my platform.
These type of niggas got to be exposed is because they hypocrites.
Right.
You know what? Let me tell y'all a little story right quick. I remember back when I was in the Torah Nights, there was this white boy named Negi. And a sister reached out to me and showed me something. He was all online, flashing himself and showing himself no different than Solar was. And the first person I showed it to was Judah, and I was gone. I left the group. I said, yo, I'm out. Several years ago. Then he ended up over there on Killer Bee's stream. See, all these niggas is weirdos.
And I come over and I said, "Oh, so you mean to tell me you got a problem with me because I want to go to the movies, nigga?" And I was like, and go watch, you went to go watch those Hamites. I was like, nigga, you married to a Japanese bitch. You talking shit, right? So we all falling out now, right? So as I was left them, me and Judah went at it for about a year. So as I was left them, me and Judah went at it for about a year, right? Me and Judah went at it for about a year. And this was giving him views, and it was getting me views. And I said, oh, I'm finna destroy Judah Nazareth. One time this girl.
What did he say? He said this girl gave him the pictures, right? Of Negi. When did this happen? After the year. He already left Judah before the Negi incident happened. He used the Negi incident to try to take down Judah and his group later.
I leave short nights, and me and Judah fall out. So a friend of mine, she called me. She said, "I got something for you." I was like, "What you got?" And she was just like, "You know, Negi?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was just like, "He doing things he not supposed to." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she was just all like, she said, "Here," and she sent me the website. And I go on there, and I'm all like, oh. So right off rip, I go post the video. The Torah nights are done. I was trying to, right? But I kept that video of Negi up. That video, by the time my original channel was shut down, I was probably at maybe 4,500 subscribers, right? That video alone had 11,000 views. And as long as that video up, it was deadly for Negi, whatever his name is. It's deadly for.
What's Chris's motive right here? Does it have anything to do with anything moral or protecting people from deviance, staying away from deviancy? What's his motive right now? He's concerned with YouTube clout. And he needs a campaign to make it seem like his motives for attacking Sinai behind Solarmind is a genuine moral motive. And it's his C-bots and groupies on his channel that eat this shit up.
We gotta start exposing weirdos. We gotta start exposing people when they say nasty and foul shit. And we gonna deal with who you got on your platform. See, weirdos come through your platform. I told you to clean that shit up a long time ago. Solar is just one of the many that didn't come through for you. That done came through your channel. Man, fuck the HOK. Light. What's the other boy's name?
I can help you with that. It's Chris Harris. I think that's the name that you're looking for.
Not Natural Tahuti. He was a heroin dealer. Nature Boy. Side Nutter. You a weirdo? All y'all niggas is weirdos. They all come through your house, and Judah's a weirdo, and will always be a weirdo. But I'm gonna show y'all. See, my voice getting a little sore. I'm gonna show y'all disgusting behavior. Yeah, the internet keeps it all. Once you say it, it's there forever. This is on Judah's channel.
Like and subscribe. Tell me, brother Chris. Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even Chris. I told I was like, okay, we can try to get Chris MVP Harris over his crew and get and get the shit popping again with the information.
Wait. Shalom, brother Chris. Wait a minute. Chris would not be. Now, Chris just said that he's a deviant and we shouldn't be on those type of pages.
You're something, Chris MVP Harris. I'm hungry as shit. My wife went shopping at freaking 10 o'clock at night to eat. What's going on, Chris?
What up, dog?
Who's this that got on the panel? Who's that?
You got to be careful. And first thing you got to understand is their level of argumentation up to par? How many times have I said it don't matter if you're right or wrong in a debate? It's about it's the ability to convince the audience that you are right. Who cares? Hey Judah, hold on just for 1 second. Hey Judah, you know what? Today I'll do a recap on y'all debate for y'all.
I gotta. My nigga about to wake up. His breakfast got to be made. My shit.
That's right. That's right. That nigga want that food.
I gotta make sure everything right. Can you just please tell me right now before my nigga wake up, please?
Right.
What exactly you said? Damn Judah. Damn Judah. What?
Wait. Even Jason, who was the brother of Onias.
Who is that? I thought he just said don't be on panels with weirdos. Why we keep seeing him on these weirdo pages?
Bro, these lies have got to stop. Yo, I asked that man, please learn Aramaic or Hebrew. You know that Emmanuel passage? I said, if you look it up, and at the end of Isaiah chapter 7, it says Emmanuel. So it was never a name. That lets you know it just means God is with us. We're calling people stupid, but he the one that believes in niggas flying up into heaven, sitting up there with God and shit on the throne. That's weird to me.
Yeah, you clapped him. Yeah, you clapped. Show my money. You jabbed. Oh, not jabbed. You clapped Tazariak.
Look, Judah's even congratulating him on his debate with Tazariak. He told Chris that you clapped me. I'm sorry, that you clapped him. Wait a minute. So Judah's a sexual deviant. He's a sexual predator. This year, what changed between last year and today, Chris? Or is it that you're just a weirdo?
So, but like I said, what was you and Jabari going through? What was happening with that?
What's the latest on you and Jabari, Judah? Because we're interested in that, right, Chris? We're interested in what's going on this dirty, tainted platform that you had to run away from, right? That's the reason why you left, right?
Because it's like when you develop something new, it's like an innovation. I mean, I guess that's the way I see it. So,
but say like they started in Egypt, right? People say all this stuff started in Egypt, but as it went on, things progressed.
But how do we take a culture from somebody when we're talking about ritual? We're only talking about ritual.
You're trying to tell me that Chris Harris is on a platform with Negi, but yet Chris isn't a weirdo.
Put it like this: if you take a pagan concept and you make it your own, and then turn around and say the pagan concept is in fact evil, but the origin of the ritual that you're practicing is in fact pagan. It comes from pagan ideology. That doesn't make sense.
Here's the funny thing. Me personally, I don't consider the pagan stuff evil per se.
Me neither. I'm a pagan.
Oh yeah, I'm a weirdo. I mean, a pagan just like you, Negi.
The Torah says the other nations have their ways, and that's perfectly fine. They're not meant to follow the Torah.
But it condemns them.
Yeah, I see that, but the thing is, I don't share that same view exactly, but you know.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, I don't want to be contentious with you right now, but I'm a little.
Man, yeah, it's fine. I'm not. I don't want to even. When I left Judah, I left all that fighting stuff behind.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be contentious. I'm just trying to see if you see what I'm talking about. You understand?
I do. I understand what you're saying.
Of course, exactly. We don't want to be contentious with the weirdos and the deviants. We don't want to be contentious with Brother Negi, right, Chris?
So they took things from it or borrowed, or then they demonized some of the original sources.
Correct.
Then they demonized some of the original sources.
Correct.
All right, some other niggas don't hang out with niggas in the private. It's like some shit like that. I'm sounding like Wild Rat. It's the Wild Rat.
Dumb. He's a dummy.
I know. That's why I'm just putting it in the dumb ass way.
Right. Don't turn into a monkey right now, B. Come on, man. Fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Right. That was funny, right, Negi? How he called him a monkey, right?
Okay, let's continue on. Quote Rob Rack. Yeah, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's funny how we keep running into Chris on all these platforms. So if Chris is always on these platforms, what does that say about Chris? Chris must be a weirdo to be dealing with weirdos and on weirdo pages. That means if you deal with Chris and you're on Chris's page and you're one of his followers, what would that make you? I mean, he said that if you deal with these people, you're weirdos, right? So if Chris is one of these weirdos and you deal with Chris, that would make you a weirdo. You know, somebody had to let you know. So now you know.
First of all, anybody that's listening, yes, I used to debate over there at Sonetta Studios. Yes, I used to debate on Solar Vision. You understand what I'm saying? And I caught a lot of heat for debating over there at Sonetta and trying to tell people what Sonetta didn't do nothing when I was not really aware of the polite thing and all his past accusations. You understand what I'm saying?
No, we don't, because that's a lie. That you weren't aware.
I said clean your house up because you knew what he was doing.
This is kind of the scapegoat or the reason he gives as to what made him find out the truth about Sonetta knowing about Polite.
Frankie, filthy Frankie, Sonetta humiliating Chris Harris live on air, but telling him, no, you're an HOK. Even after that humiliation, he was still capping for Sa. He was still butt kissing Sa. That's what he did. Just for the record.
I've spoken to people like D Red, Q Butter, Psychopatheus, Sabio.
Yeah, Psychopath, Sabio. You heard him lying live on air.
People that made the mistakes are us for speaking on something that we did not have the full facts on.
See, that's the lie right there.
Oh yeah, not the full facts on. All right, that is very funny.
When I heard the video, I called Psycho and I said, damn, Psycho, I never heard this before. When I heard the video, I called Psycho and I said, damn, Psycho, I never heard this before. I said, all right, well, he knew. I said, all right, well, he knew. He knew about his behavior.
It's a lie that he learned about Sonetta knowing about Polite by getting a video from Psycho. He knows why I know. Chris already knew about Polite and Sa knowing about Polite being a chomo before he got on the platform and before any type of psychopatheous bullshit. He already knew that.
Chris, so, but are you not on record saying that it's none of your business?
He's repeating the talking points.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I've been saying that. Who he gives his money to is none of my business.
But you also
That's
said
what the whole thing was about.
Big bro, but you also said that to me about the Polite situation.
She's saying we talked in private about this. We discussed about the Polite situation because he's not supposed to know about the Polite situation. Didn't he say he was unaware? That's why she's getting irritated. Now, look how he responds when she just simply brings up something they discussed in private.
Big bro, but you also said that to me about the Polite situation. Like you,
I ain't
like
said nothing to you about no Polite situation.
Chris.
Why is he lying? Why is he saying, I didn't say nothing to you about Polite? So what he's discussing with her would be what he found out from the Psycho video, right? So why deny it if that's what happened?
Guess what? And guess what? The Polite situation is none of my business until the court case is done.
But you just said it again, and that's why I got quiet to let you think about what you're saying. You keep saying it's none of your business. It is
what he do with his money. No, it's not my business.
Okay,
what
now
Zaria does on.
Brothers and sisters, I hope you don't fall for it. He's changing he's moving the goalposts, he's changing the narrative. Have you, brothers and sisters, heard me saying, well, I have a problem because he sends the money to them? My focus is those children being molested. You know what I'm saying? Was it his business?
Yep, that's when it was his business.
You know what I'm saying? So it was all good for Sanedo to make a live stream going at JJ 7000. Why is it that a bachelor's degree is his business? Why is it that JJ 7000 situation is his business, but a girl being molested is not his business? The dude admitted that he lied for Garfield. Yes, Donnie, he's cut.
He's the one that put out the information on JJ 7000, if you know about that. He was the one behind that. He got caught up in a lie concerning Tazariak and some stuff dealing with money. He was covering for Garfield. They'll cover for each other. They'll do whatever is good for their platform, which is generally what happens. When they fall out, then all of a sudden it's time for truth. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm more concerned in the polite situation. It's not his business, then why are you speaking on this subject to everybody that's going against Sinetta then? Why are you his attack dog if it's none of your business? Because you want that spot. That's why. That's why. And it's the same with Judah Nazareth. That's what he's doing right now. Judah wants that spot on Sinetta's platform. So he's his attack dog. And everybody that has a problem with Sinetta, what does Judah do? He goes out and attacks for Sinetta. He's his bitch. And that's what Chris was. Because those are the rules you have to follow if you want to have a certain standing on that platform. Especially people that want clout the way those two do. That's why Chris got mad when he didn't get that debate. And Jabari got it. You're dealing with divas. So they're going to do whatever they have to do, sell out whoever they have to sell out, because that's the word that used to be used for people like Chris who are walking commodities.
I'm just reminding you that twice I heard you say when it came down to girls being sexually assaulted. I'm just reminding you that twice I heard you say when it came down to girls being sexually assaulted.
When they talked privately, she said twice she heard him say about those girls, plural, before the trial situation, the older victims.
And there are people speaking up about it. I heard you say that, Chris. Like, it's none of your
business. You're mincing my words.
Chris,
and guess what? Maybe you misunderstood me because I certainly didn't mean it that way. I'm here telling you now, I didn't mean it that way, and you're still trying to hold me to it.
And I believe you if you say you don't mean it like that, but I'm telling you, like, I'm trying to have you recall the conversation the last time me and you talked about it.
Fuck you, Neo-X. Fuck you.
God damn.
Neo-X. Okay. Beige.
So you heard it, brothers and sisters. You heard it. He said it twice.
There it is. Beige rage. Now, the question is, why is he so upset that that she brought up something they talked about in private? Why is he so mad? Because he didn't want that out, which is that Sinetta is a pedo protector. That's what he thought in private. He didn't want that out because that would mess up his status on that platform. That's what he was worried about. He wasn't worried about the victim. He didn't care about all that. Just like what he said about Sinetta. You don't care about that. I told you there's no difference between Chris or Sinetta or Judah. They're all the same. All these people are clowns. They're all perpetrators. Now, there's one more part that I want to show.
Now, in case you're not paying attention, brothers and sisters, particularly those of you who never heard that, pay attention now to the words that are going to come out of Brother Polite's mouth.
But in this case, it was up to 12 people to have that reasonable doubt or not. And those 12 people make the decision.
It's not. So what's the point?
If you want to fight
it's your matter of opinion if you
fight for it for another reason. Don't fight for it because he's innocent of a molesting kid.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually.
Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny scientifically. We say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. I don't identify with everything he does there, much like I believe most Christians don't.
So let's hear it again for the record.
Bro,
let's
that is.
Polite doesn't deny that he molested him. Polite just says, whether he did or not, I would still worship Dr. York. Polite didn't see anything wrong with that behavior that Dr. York did. on those people. So it shows he would not have any qualms about doing that himself.
When they touch little boys, they just move them to another church, another city. You know what I'm saying? So it just
Or
shows
tell
you
them to keep quiet, like Chris said.
Yeah, like they will use God for anything, you know, to try
So
to
don't
shame
talk
you.
about it, like Chris told people to. Don't
Yeah,
talk about it.
but what?
Right. Remember, Chris told people not to talk about Polite being a chomo, or Sonetter knowing that Polite was like that.
Headshot.
And then I remember I said, but I just seen a video of Polite talking to one of Dr. York's victims. It was some light-skinned guy. I don't know him.
Yeah, nowhere
But-
his name.
Like, but Chris was like, even if somebody was sexually assaulted, like a man, like he was like, it's just best not to say nothing. Like, to keep it to yourself, don't put it public. But I was just telling him, like, bro, but that man said something, so we just gonna ignore his like, man. And that man looked broken. You can see how he was talking to Polite. Like,
Neo just said they were discussing it over the phone, right? That video is what they discussed, and that was the video Chris did not want people to talk about. That means he had knowledge of it, right? He had knowledge when he talked to Neo about it, and he was still trying to keep things quiet. This is before he so-called left. He was trying to keep it quiet and say it wasn't his business. That's not the same as not being aware. He was thinking about his own place on Sonetter's platform. He didn't want that put in jeopardy. That's all that was. I've already told you, don't deal with these people. I told you they're phonies, and their motives are all self-serving. And a lot of them are doing it under the guise of, like I said, black progressive, Pan-Africanism, black power, black this, black that. That's the part that I take serious issue with. So Chris is no different than Sonetter. He's no different than Judah Natsara. You all take care.